Hey everyone, Sandy and Jenny here with another episode of Chicks Talking Pics. Hi Jenny, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing, Sandy?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready to get started with another episode and should we just dive right in or is there anything you want to talk about?
Uh, no, I don't think there was anything extra to discuss yet.
Okay. All right, let's go for it then. We don't want to keep the people waiting. Go ahead, I'll let you start.
Um, okay. I'm not sure where to start. Okay. I mean, I like the broken window, the kind of obsolete sort of abandonment. These always are good subjects for photographers. Uh, I think it could use a little um, spend a little more time dialing in what you want to focus on. There's a little bit of a distraction down in the bottom left where the Sandy has a tool out to highlight that.
Yeah.
Um, and the little stuff sticking off the hood. Well, yeah, on the right there where the other window is. But yeah, that little thing is kind of distracting. I mean, I think the main interest here is the broken window and the steering wheel. And so I think if you stepped in and simplified things, it could become a much more interesting image. What do you think,
Yes,
Sandy?
yes, I agree. Um, Now I have to erase these. Okay. Erase them, each of them. I like the image. I like the color of the palette, the green to the like the yellowish color. What I wish the maker would have thought to do, or maybe um, worked on a little bit more, was getting that horn of the steering wheel centered in that
Mhm.
glass. Do you know? I
Mhm.
just, it's touching. That's like a merge right there. Is
Yeah.
everybody kind of seeing that? I should probably keep my annotate uh, like right here. This is touching, and I don't like that. I wish that this was all moved over to the right a little bit, and this was smack in the middle, like right here or something.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just my thought on that.
Yeah. And that would be kind of a stepping in and focusing a little more on the image, you know, because that's the interesting part. All the
Right,
other stuff isn't quite as interesting.
right,
Yeah.
right. That's what I think. Yeah, even if you would have just kind of concentrated more on that window and what
Hmm.
was behind the window. I even think that maybe that including this area up in this corner up here, it doesn't tell more of the story. So that whole, I mean, you could probably crop this down to something. Wouldn't want to crop the handle into, but something in this area. I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't know. That'd be kind of that's a viewer's choice. And it's the viewer didn't do anything wrong here. This is just, or the maker didn't do anything wrong here. This is just us kind of blabbing of maybe what we might do a little different. Um, but I definitely think this one would benefit from some darkening up in that top left-hand corner,
Hmm.
just so that you focus on more of the steering wheel and not so much having your eye go off like over the hood, like out of the front window, the windshield, and over the hood, because that's where my eye's going right now.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going out of the scene.
Hmm.
So, all right,
Yep.
let's see what this maker decided to. There we go.
There we go.
So one, oh, like really wide open. Am I going to assume maybe this was a cell phone? Oh, I don't know. 1.8, f 1.8, which gave you a lot of depth of field, actually. That's why I'm wondering if it was a cell phone. Because I think if you were shooting with um,
Mm. Yeah.
a regular lens at 1.8, you would definitely just have that glass in focus.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't shoot with that kind of, I don't shoot that kind of, um, those kind of f-stops. So, and 1/1600th of a second at ISO 64. Good. Anything else?
Nope.
Did we beat that one up too much? I hope not.
I hope not.
I love it. I wish I would have been there. I wish I knew where this was. So maybe someday we'll find out. All right. Okay, my turn, I think, to
Yep,
go
your
next.
turn.
Yeah, I'm interested in this image because of the shapes, and I like the light on this trunk. Um, I like it, but there's just something. Help me out, Jenny. I just don't know exactly why I'm having trouble with it. I think it's the lower right-hand corner. I think that is too light. It doesn't even match the scene. Um,
Think it's a little busy.
yeah, it's a little busy. But I see the upper left hand, or that the brown weeds behind the trunk.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then you've got the brown floor. It looks like the floor of the forest
Hmm.
that's the light is hitting. And that I wish the maker might have waited 5, 10, 15 minutes, and that light may have not been hitting that lower right-hand corner. And
Hmm.
that would have solved the problem for me. And it would have kept it really nice and dark down there, and my eye would have stayed on those knots that are really interesting looking.
Yeah, and I agree. The knots are kind of the interesting part, and I think that's what drew the photographer into this. I think there's just a little too much going on around them,
Mhm.
and your eye keeps going, well, there's this yellow leaf over here that's really bright, and there's all these spotted leaves on the left that are kind of bright. So I think, yeah, it's a another case of stepping in and focusing on what it was that caught your eye in the first place.
Yeah, so next time you get in this situation, or you get back to this actual tree, give it some time, wait around a little bit. Start thinking about more abstracty. I think there's some potential for abstracts in there. Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just anyway, just think about that. So here we are at f1.8, 1/300th of a second, ISO 100. Again, makes me think cell phone. So I don't know for sure. I don't have that information. All right. This image I like a lot. Uh, it's a great capture as far as street scene. I think it's pretty nice in that way that the birds kind of lead you from the bottom right all the way through the scene and then up into the air. I mean, the birds do the work for you here. This is easy. Um, Not easy to get all the birds to do that, but I mean, it works for you here. I I love the vignette that is on this image. Um, Two things I'll just point out, and that is the two humans in this image. So let me get over here to my tool again. Right here, this guy's head merges with the horizon, or the water in the back walkway or whatever that is. That really bothers me. It would have been great if you were up just a hair maybe and kept his head in the water. And then this person has a pole coming out of their head, just standing
Yeah.
there. So now, if the street documentary would not allow you to do removing any of that, he would have to be there and remove that kind of stuff on the spot. That would be a no-no for documentary or street photography. Um,
Okay.
but I think that if you were to at least take the person out that's by the light post, if you were going to do this for yourself or a competition that didn't care or whatever. Well, hopefully every competition cares about that. But go ahead, Jenny. I'll let you go.
The other thing that bothers me is the little feeding pan for the pigeons down in
Oh,
the right. And I think you probably could, I mean, cropping that would be too much, I think, to crop up to get that out.
yeah,
But if you change position to either be up higher and
yeah,
you could maybe get an angle that would remove it and get that person's head against the water, or lower and get their head against the sky.
yeah.
Um, and then you'd probably be able to eliminate that element down there and still have the flow. I like the way the birds are flowing from it and then circling the person.
Hmm.
It helps bring you in, but I wish that little tray wasn't there.
Yeah. I didn't even see that. Isn't that interesting? That didn't bother me. Here's a little
That's
thing that
interesting
bothers me.
shape, which I didn't see earlier. I guess it's a
Yeah,
bird right against the pole. I was thinking at
yeah,
first it was some sort of weird thing on the horizon, but yeah.
yeah. So maybe watch that there. Again, we're giving you these tips that might help you improve if you're in a competition where the judges, can make that or allow that kind of manipulation to an image. But here's one I bet Jenny didn't think of, and we saw this one at the San Diego County Fair, and I didn't point this out to the fair either at the time we were talking about it. But look at all these
Mm.
uh, hand of man. If you know what hand of man, it's anything, well, it would be the whole concrete,
Yeah, none of
the
this is,
whole, the
everything in
whole,
this is hand of man.
yeah, everything in this is hand of man. But look at the tire tracks that go through here.
Yeah,
That's another thing that's kind of weird. So somebody was
yeah.
driving on that.
But
I like,
they work in this case because they're bringing you into the
yeah,
image again.
right, right.
And, you know, and if you weren't going to submit this to anything, you could go ahead and remove that pole under the bird and just make it a,
Yeah,
do some of these other things to make it a stronger image for your own enjoyment. Um,
yeah, that's true. All right, let's see what an F18 again makes me think cell phone at one, and I should have checked this, 12
yeah.
thousandth of a second. That had to have been 1200th of a second or something like that to get those birds sharp. 12,000th. I might have added an extra zero when I put that on the image. I'm sorry. I'll have to clarify that, fix it. ISO 100. So yeah, I like the image. I like the thought. I love the birds. The birds make it for me. But I like the whole scene.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Another episode. Hope you enjoyed that one. And if you want to be involved or have your images reviewed by Jenny and myself, send them to chickstalkingpics@gmail.com. Right there on the screen. I'll leave it up for just a second more so you can take a screenshot of it or just
Just pause
look it
your
up.
video and and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell there to get notified every time we put out a new episode.
Yeah. And check out our websites too. They're down there for you to take a look at.
That's
All
true.
right. All right, everybody. Have a great afternoon, day, morning, whatever you're having right now. So wherever you're at, we'll see you
Okay.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.